Hi, it's Lethea from View Creators. Today we're going to work on the Oh Holy Night door hanger from the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. I love this door hanger. There is so much detail and the pieces are just cut so well. So I'm just going to put all the pieces on my sticky board. I'm categorizing them based on what color I'm going to paint them in. And I'm going to go in on the bottom below the nativity with Angelic. This is a mineral acrylic from Couture. I love the Couture paints. They are very smooth. They are very high-end paints. And on the top, I'm going to go in with Abyss, another mineral acrylic. The mineral acrylics have a built-in top coat and are more full coverage. You can also get the colors in chalk style paint, which has natural matte to it and is really good for distressing. I love them both. I love them both for different reasons. And I'm going to use a sponge, makeup sponge, to apply my Abyss to the letters. I have recently discovered that I really like using makeup sponges, especially on the small pieces. I'm going to go in with my new ombre nail tool. It has a tiny little sponge, so it's perfect for these little pieces, and that handle just makes it much more comfortable to paint with. So I'm really liking that, and that was off of Amazon, super inexpensive. Then I'm going to use my Van Dyke Brown semi-gel stain for the actual nativity piece. Now I'm going to go in with just one layer, and I'm using another makeup sponge wedge for that. I'm going to set that aside to dry after I put a second coat on the words and the Spanish sunrise on the stars. And I do wash the little sponge there, and I do wash my wedges and I reuse them. You can get a couple of uses out of both, I feel. And I'm going to get the background nice and dry before I go in with both colors and put another coat. I am painting with the grain on this backboard, and I try to paint with the grain on the little pieces as much as possible as well. I like to do two coats just so that I have fuller coverage, and I feel like it helps the colors shine and be more even. And when I'm painting a large round, I do try to swipe my brush all the way across from edge to edge just to smooth out that paint. I'm going to let that dry, and then I am going to go back to my pieces with vintage lace. I'm going to do a quick layer of vintage lace on my stars. Gives it a shimmer. I do like to put the Spanish sunrise underneath the vintage lace because I feel like it just gives it a brighter base for that vintage lace. But I have used it all by itself, and it is gorgeous either way. Give all that a good dry before I go in with my Debi's DIY dark wax. I am using this to accent the edges and just to kind of distress the pieces to give them more dimension. And I even use it on that navy and on the sparkly pieces too. I'm going to put some dead flat top coat on the backboard. I did use some Debi's DIY wax on that, and I also did top coat on all my pieces. And now I'm going in with my art glitter glue. I put some in a pot, and I'm using my dotting tool just to kind of dot that around the background. I am lifting it to see where the stars are going to go because I don't want to put any of my sparkle on the stars. And this is Sheer Frost. It is a German glitter glass from Couture, and I'm putting it on my little parchment and then kind of trying to sprinkle it on those dots and then kind of press it into that glue. It's my first time using it, and I really love it, but I do, I feel like I don't know what the best way is to put it on. So I'll be playing with that to see what I like. And I let that dry really well, and then I'm just kind of brushing off the pieces that were not adhered to the glue and just making sure what is on there is stuck nicely before I go in and glue in all of the pieces. Oh, I just love how it turned out. It's so gorgeous. Again, I'm going to use my art glitter glue to adhere all these pieces. I love art glitter glue because it allows you to kind of wiggle around your pieces before it sets up. But once it does, it is adhered very strongly. It's not going to move. You're not going to have to worry about anything falling off. And it dries clear. So major plus there. And on top of that, it does not make your fingers crusty, which I am a messy crafter, so I have a problem with that. And I'm just going to use a little. And I feel like a lot of times I don't clean up when it smooshes out, but I wanted to try to just, give it a little bit more attention, I guess. And I did go in with a new little Dollar Tree tool that Christina sent me to kind of swipe up some of the excess glue, and then I would just brush it on the back of another piece and use it because I don't want to waste it. I did try to make sure that I had glue on all of those tiny little pieces just to make sure that they were adhered and were going to be stable. And I put my little Dollar Tree clips on the end just to hold that long piece down while it dries. And there I'm using, it's actually a car paint detailing tool to wipe up some of the paint that's in those tiny little crevices. And then I'm putting on the words. You can still see the score lines even though there's 2 coats of paint. And that's how I lined everything up, including the stars, the nativity, and the words. I'm going to use some of the jute that Christina provides in her kits. They're always gorgeously wrapped with beautiful tissue paper and then tied off with the jute. And I'm going to trim that, and there you have it. I love how it sparkles. I love how it looks on my door. I cannot wait for it to be there all the time. I hope you like it too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you like and subscribe this video and come back again.